When the husband dies not needing long-term care, he left her the life insurance benefit.
Nationwide shared policy, they have a preferred rating and a standard rating.
One person needed 8 years of care and the other needed nothing. It could be quite advantageous.
Hey guys, I'm Derek Wilkins.
And I'm Drew Nichols here with LTC Tree, and today we're going to talk about
the Nationwide CareMatters Together
hybrid long-term care plan.
Yeah, that's their shared policy where it covers, one policy covers two people.
So we fortunately get to talk to lots of people around the country about long-term care. And for couples, one of the first questions that comes up is, hey, I think I want a joint policy, or I'd at least like to know how they work. And so we decided to make this video, and like Derek said before we were making the video, we don't want to be biased for or against. We just want to give the facts. And that's what we're here to do right now.
Exactly. So the CareMatters Together product, it's one premium covering you both. It has nationwide, it's a bit different because their CareMatters 2 product, the underwriting is pass-fail. They're going to take it or not. We're seeing that if you both get preferred, it's a pretty compelling story. However, if both of you don't get preferred, there's an argument made to maybe you should get individual policies.
Right. They could be Nationwide or some other company. The advantage of a joint plan is that you can get a big bucket of money. 8 years tends to be pretty common. So 96 months of long-term care. If either spouse needs it, you can dip into it, in any increment. So if one person needed 8 years of care and the other needed nothing, it could be quite advantageous.
Yeah.
Versus on an individual plan, we usually do 6 years per person.
Yeah.
Now, if you're curious about how this plays out, we're happy to create a spreadsheet of both and just put it on one simple sheet summary for you. But in general, like you said, they both members of the couple have to be extremely healthy, because that preferred is not easy to get.
It's not, yeah. But let's play out an example of how could this shared policy be advantageous for a couple. So say you have a typical husband and wife. Typically, women outlive the man. If you go to a nursing home, it's like 90% women who live there. So there's a good chance that the husband's going to die quickly. Maybe he just needs care for 6 months, a year, or dies of a heart attack. But that means if he doesn't use any of the benefits, all those are transferred to his wife.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And he can guarantee that she's taken care of with the full policy if she ends up needing long-term care. So basically, he can protect her from the grave.
Right. But let's play out the other scenario. Let's say instead of buying that one joint policy, we spent the same money and bought two individual policies.
Right.
When the husband dies not needing long-term care, he left her the life insurance benefit.
That's a good point. Yeah, because that's, again, we're unbiased. We'll go over the pros and cons. The life insurance on the Nationwide CareMatters Together is a second to die policy.
Right.
What does that crazy terminology mean, Drew?
That means you've got one life insurance that doesn't pay out till both people have deceased, and it's less claims paid. So if either of you makes even like a year's worth of long-term care claim, you're probably not going to have anything left but the minimum death benefit that Nationwide offers. Yeah. So the odds that one of you is going to need care is fairly high, meaning that you're probably going to whittle that death benefit down to its minimum.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to think about, having two individual death benefits. While we're not buying it for the death benefit, it's nice to have the extra cash.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, again, to what you said earlier, we're unbiased. We want to just show the pros and cons of each plan, and you can judge for yourself what you think works best for you.
Yeah, and I think the key takeaway should be, for most couples, the CareMatters Together should be evaluated very carefully against doing two individual plans.
Yeah.
But every situation is a little different. That's, I guess, job security for us. We help people evaluate this and don't always come to the same conclusion by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
We work with all the companies, all the plans. If you're curious about seeing how this plays out for you, check out our website, give us a call.
LTCtrue.com, fill out the form on our site, or give us a call.
Yep, thanks guys.
Thank you.